In this video, I will show to you how you can create dynamic data mappings using configuration files in Microsoft Fabric data pipelines to build better and more flexible data solutions. This is a skill you definitely want to have in your arsenal, so stay tuned. Welcome to the video. My name is Aleksi and on this channel I cover Microsoft Fabric and Azure related topics. In this video we're continuing our journey with Microsoft Fabric data engineering, and today we're going to cover using dynamic content in copy data's mapping. This video is also part of my Microsoft Fabric data engineering series. A link to the playlist can be found in the description. In this video, we're going to use concepts and activities that we have already covered in the previous videos in this series. And I would highly recommend you to watch my previous videos on Lookup and For Each activities and configuration files before watching this video, if you're not already familiar with those concepts. Link to those videos can be found in the description below. Also, all the files that I will be using in this video can be found by clicking the link in the description. But now, let's open up Fabric and talk about data mappings and how to do them dynamically in data pipelines. Now I have my lakehouse open. In this lakehouse I have created a new folder called Fabric DE Series 22, and under that I have two subfolders, configuration and source. In the configuration folder we have the configuration file that we're going to use in this exercise, but we're going to come back to this configuration file shortly. In the source folder I have two CSV files, animals.csv and movies.csv. In these files I have just few rows of data and a header. And we can check out the movies files also. There's a film, year, rating, and then few rows of data. Then I have this data pipeline that is already pointing to that movies.csv file there, and trying to copy that to a lakehouse table called movies. As you already probably know, in the copy data activity we have this mapping section here, and in this mapping section we can define the mapping from the CSV file columns to the lakehouse table columns. And we can automatically import schemas by clicking this import schemas button here. This will take a little while and import our columns from the CSV file and our columns from the lakehouse table. And here we have the mappings that the data pipeline automatically created for us. Good thing to note here that I don't actually have this movies table in my lakehouse, and if we would run this pipeline would automatically create that table and use the default mappings for that table. And the default mappings for that table would be to use the column names from the CSV file to be the column names in that lakehouse table. And we could actually use this mapping feature here to do some changes to the columns. For example, change the column names. For example, type here movie instead of film. And also we could be changing these data types to something else, because in CSV file everything is string, so it's mapping everything as string to the lakehouse table as well. But we have some other than string data in our CSV file, and we would most likely want them to have something else as string. This mapping feature here is very useful, but what if we have like 100 CSV files and we would like to use some iterative logic and a for each loop, and in that for each loop just one copy activity to handle all those files? Of course, then we couldn't have a mapping feature there if the CSV files have different columns in them, so we wouldn't be able to do these changes here. But we can delete these mappings here, and we have option to use dynamic content in this mapping, which means that we could do this mapping actually dynamically. Let's import these mappings back here so I can explain to you how that would happen. Now the mappings are back, and we could actually go to this View tab and edit the JSON code. Here we can see the pipeline JSON code, because on the background this pipeline is defined as this JSON here. And here we can find all the mappings that we have defined under this translator object and mappings here. And here we have exactly the same mappings that we have in the UI. So basically, if we would use the dynamic content, this mapping feature would expect to have this kind of object. So we would have to replace this object with something that comes out from the configuration files. And in the configuration files have this mapping configuration for our files. Now let's go back to our lakehouse and check out the configuration file that we have here. I have already prepared the configuration for these two files that we have here. For example, we have the source folder, source file name, destination table schema, and destination table name for each file that we have there. And then we have also this mapping section here that we would use dynamically to replace the mapping when we use that iterative logic in our pipeline. In this mapping for the movies file, I have made some slight changes. For example, the column name 1, I have changed the film name to movie when we copy it to the lakehouse table. I have also done some data type changes here as well. For example, for the column year, I have changed the data type that is coming from the CSV, that is string, to integer when it's going to the lakehouse table. Also, I have done a data type change for the rating as well, and there I'm changing that string to float value. For the other file, the animals.csv, I have not done any changes to the mapping, so we keep that as it is. Next, we would like to build a pipeline that uses this configuration file to copy those two files from our source folder to our lakehouse tables. Let's start building. So let's hit create, and then we want to create a new data pipeline. And let's name that data pipeline according to our naming conventions. And let's wait to the canvas to load up. And then we want to add the lookup activity first, that we are going to use to look up the configuration files. And let's name this lookup a bit better here. Let's name it to lookup conf. And then we're going to select the connection that will be our lakehouse. And then we're going to untap the first row only option since we want the entire configuration files. Then we're going to use the file section. And then we are going to point this lookup activity to our configuration file like this. And then we're going to change the file format to JSON. And now this lookup would be ready to fetch our configuration file. And we can test this out and click run. And let's see what happens. Now our pipeline has succeeded, and we can check out the output of this lookup activity. And we can see that we have the configuration contents here now in the pipeline. So we could pass this value array here to our for each loop and loop through this configuration and use these properties in the copy data activity inside that for each to do the copy activities. Let's close this configuration, and then let's add our for each activity to this pipeline. And let's name this bit better as well. Let's name it for each conf. And then we would like to configure the items that we are going to loop through. And that is going to be the value array that is coming from the lookup activity that we have available there. And then we're going to hit OK. And then we're going to add a copy data activity to inside this for each activity. And let's name this copy data a bit better as well. Copy data from lakehouse CSV file to lakehouse table. And then we are going to select our lakehouse to be our source. And for this, we want to select the file section. And now we would like to configure this dynamically using that configuration that we are looping through here. So our directory is going to be our source folder from our configuration, and then our file name is going to be the source file name from our configuration. And then the file format is going to be the delimited text. And to these delimited text settings, we don't need to touch since those files are using these default settings already. And now we should have configured our source already. And then we're going to configure our destination based on our configuration. And now we are going to use actually the table section. And then we are going to add dynamic content to our schema name. First, it's going to be the destination table schema. And then our table name is going to be destination table name. And then we are going to change our table action to overwrite, so that we will overwrite always the data that is in the table. Then to the mapping section, we want to add some dynamic content. So basically to the mapping section, we want to refer to this property in our configuration file. So our mapping section would be replaced with this object here that the mapping is waiting to have. And this would then do that mapping dynamically based on our configuration. And now let's go back to our pipeline, and then we want to add dynamic content to this mapping section here and refer to that mapping there by using that item reference that we already did before. And now we are done with the configuration. We can hit this validate button to see that we have configured everything correctly in this pipeline. And we can see that our pipeline has been validated and no errors were found. Next, we could run this pipeline. But before we do that, I would like you to know that I spent a ton of my free time creating these videos for you. And that's why I would like to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Microsoft Fabric data engineering content. It doesn't cost you anything and I would highly appreciate that. But now let's go back to the Fabric and run our pipeline. Let's click this run button here to run our pipeline that will actually save and run our pipeline. And now our pipeline is running. And now our pipeline has succeeded, and we can see that we ran that copy activity 2 times, since we had 2 configurations in our configuration file. And next we can go to the lakehouse and see that we have some tables here. Let's refresh this table section here. And here we can see a new schema, and under that schema we should have 2 tables. Yes, we have animals and movies. We can check out, for example, the movies table and see that we have that column name change there and those data type changes there that we defined in that configuration mapping. And here we have our lakehouse table. And here we can see that our first column is called movie and not file, since we changed that in the configuration. Also, our year is now data type integer and our rating is data type float, that we also changed in our configuration. Now you should have an understanding how to use dynamic data mappings in copy data activities. If you'd like to learn more about Fabric, check out this video next. Now I thank you for watching and see you in that video.